On the 19th of November 2018, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) gave political parties the go-ahead to kick off electioneering campaigns for the 2019 general elections. Aspirants seeking to occupy the highest office in the land must, as a matter of urgency, come up with, or better still, look into existing policies that are aimed at creating access to affordable housing. Addressing the affordable housing challenge should be one of the most important items that any government at the center in 2019 should be tackling, because shelter goes a long way in impacting on the lives and general well-being of Nigerians. It is imperative for presidential aspirants to study and assess the actual housing needs of the low-income earners. These aspirants should also know that for low-income earners to be able to buy or rent houses, the price or rent must be low or subsidized by the government. Which of these presidential aspirants has a blueprint and a workable plan to make the dream of affordable housing a reality? This is Housing Development, where we discuss housing, its affordability and accessibility to Nigerians. As always, I am Flora, your housing diva. Stay tuned as we see the trending news in the housing sector.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has unfolded plans to recoup 43 billion naira housing loan debt from its debtors within the next 18 months. It said so far it has been able to recover over 3 billion naira in 2018 in addition to the initial 2.4 billion naira recorded in 2017. The bank's managing director, Hamed Dangiwa, who made the disclosure at the 2018 annual management retreat themed Improved Transaction Turnaround Time, Getting It Done, held in Kano, said this was in line with its loan recovery drive. The MD stated that already the bank is working in partnership with the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the recovery of public property, in a move that is likely to recoup 43 billion naira from the bank's debtors within the next 18 months. Nigeria's population has continued to grow at an incredible rate over the years, but for some experts, the increase is not commensurate with the shelter needs of the people. Recently, United Nations estimated Nigerians' population at 197,430,516 million people. That was as of October 29, 2018. Some experts have, however, argued that the population being brandished is equivalent to 2.57% of the world population, making the country rank 7th in the list of countries and dependencies by population. Although Nigeria's population is surging, the housing deficit remains a challenge. Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has ordered the arrest of the contractors of the 7-story building under construction, which collapsed in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. Speaking on the incident, Governor Wike, during a visit to the site, ordered his Attorney General to ensure that those that put up the plan of the building were brought to book. Describing the tragedy as a sad development, Wike ordered a commission of inquiry from the National Emergency Management Agency. President Muhammadu Buhari says the federal government has commenced the audit of construction sites to ascertain the level of compliance with Executive Order 5 targeted at improving local content in public procurement. Buhari said this at the opening ceremony of the 60th anniversary colloquium of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Buhari, represented by the Minister of Power Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, said the implementation committee of the executive order set up by the ministry had started work. He said that the committee had conducted a snap audit of 77 work construction sites and 50 housing sites.
The collapse of a 7-story building in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, on Friday has apparently brought the disturbing trend of building collapse to the fore once again. This issue has become a cause for concern. The question to ask is, are the building owners or their building professionals cutting corners in construction and putting up substandard buildings? Are qualified people being employed to do the jobs, or are they circumventing building regulations? Or could it be that the liability for this mishap may lie with the building authorities, who may have approved less than adequate building plans? Whatever the case, legally, if a building collapses and it is proven that it was substandard, then someone or people will have to be held accountable.
Royal Engineered Stones Limited unveiled its new product, Royal Marble, recently in Abuja, with the theme, Harnessing Engineered Marbles for Value Creation in the Built Environment. The event was attended by dignitaries, professionals, stakeholders, and dealers from different spheres. The event kicked off with a welcome address by the Executive Chairman, Royal Engineered Stones Limited, Alhaji Lawal Idrisu, who welcomed all dignitaries, dealers, and participants to the stakeholders' launch of the new extension of Royal Engineered Stones Limited, Royal Marble. The exclusive unveiling of the Royal Marble was done by the Minister of State for Mines and Steel, Abubakar Buhari.
Well, that's a good thing. It's a good news for Nigeria. It's good news for our sector, the mining sector, that a product that is 100%, the raw materials are 100% mined in our country, and this product, I learned, will be 60% cheaper than the imported marble products we have. And this is a good development. It further goes to say that it is possible in Nigeria and that we can do great things. And it further go to testify that what government is saying, that it's feasible in Nigeria. We believe we have the raw materials and the minerals to produce what we can use. Today it has been demonstrated by the Royal Ceramics, and I want to congratulate them for just doing that. They've done Nigeria proud.
The chairman of Royal Engineered Stones Limited gave assurance that the Royal Marble products can compete with any marble product in Nigeria, and it's 60% cheaper.
Well, this product that you've seen, Royal Stones Limited, it's a marble product that will compete with any marble. It's an artificial marble, but you compete with any marble that you've been mined in Nigeria. It is 60% cheaper than marble, and the quality is almost 99% the same.
Also speaking during the launch, the marketing manager, Royal Engineered Stones Limited, Shakti Mohanty, gave detailed information about Royal Marble, its components and features.
The unique feature of Royal Marble is, unlike natural marble, it is manufactured in a factory setup, in a manufacturing unit. 100% completely manufactured, made in Nigeria. Out of it, 93% of the raw material are also sourced in Nigeria. The marble is stronger than the natural marble. It is not as expensive as the natural marble, and maintenance is very, very easy, easier than natural marble.
Royal Marbles, manufactured by Royal Engineered Stones Limited, are more durable and also have less porosity, hence low chance of line cracks of calcium carbonate. The marbles comes in different colors and sizes. The sizes and thickness can also be customized to the desired taste.
A good one there from the stables of Royal Engineered Stones Limited. Now, the Construction Artisans Award held a luncheon for the inaugural edition of the Construction Artisans Award 2019. The event, which took place in Abuja recently, had in attendance stakeholders from various fields in the construction industry. Watch this.
The Construction Artisans Award Luncheon had in attendance stakeholders from various fields in the construction industry. In his welcome address, the Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, Dr. Masaudu Adamu Kazauri, paid glowing tribute to artisans in the construction sector.
Skills competition are globally acknowledged and valued for driving the TVET forward. If we look at our TVET sector, you find out that we have artisans, we have the craftsmen, we have the master craftsmen, we have the technicians, as well as the technologists. And at the cap, we have the engineers. But these five are the movers and shakers of skills in any civilized society.
In his goodwill message, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Job Creation and Youth Employment, Afolabi Imokwede, enjoined all the professional bodies in the construction sector to work together to train artisans in order to meet the demand for artisans in the country. Policy President Nasiru Dantata commended CAA team for creating a platform to celebrate artisans. The project director of System, organizers of Construction Artisans Award, while speaking, outlined the objective of the skill competition.
When you give them a task, when they are challenged, they can actually rise to the top. We expect and we are working towards producing the best artisans in the world. The skills sector is a global sector, where the economy is globalizing and there is skills demand everywhere in the world. So the idea of skills competition is something that has gone global. There's a World Skills Championship that takes place every 2 years. What we want to do is to place Nigeria on the skills map of the world.
The goal of the Construction Artisans Award is to showcase and encourage the vocational skills of artisans in the building and construction sector and to celebrate them. The Construction Artisans Award is supported by NPower, MBTE, Cobon, Redan, and many other notable bodies in the Nigerian construction industry.
Construction Skills Competition offers a unique opportunity for skilled artisans and apprentices to showcase their knowledge, skills and experience they have acquired over the years in order for them to be celebrated by their employers, friends, families as well as communities. Take a step today to register via the link on your TV screen. In its quest to provide housing for the low and middle income earners in Nigeria, the federal government, through the Family Homes Fund, is partnering private developers to build houses in different locations of the federation. Preceding the visit of the President for commissioning, the Minister of State Chief for Power Works in Housing, Suleiman Zama, led a team of task force to Kano State to inspect one of the housing estates founded by the Family Homes Fund. Speaking during a tough inspection of the project, the Honorable Minister outlined the categories of families the houses are built for.
We are providing a mixture of all. Housing for the poor, housing for people who can afford it, and housing for the people who cannot even afford it. Because we have a provision, the Family Home Funds, there is a provision for rent to own. So you can rent a house with the aim of owning it up much later by contributing from your meager resources. And you've heard us inside there talking about people that are not within the formal sector, how they are going to be accommodated into this program that we are running.
He reiterated the fact that the large-scale house building program has created new jobs for families.
We've seen a lot of activities going on. I'm sure you've not seen any foreigner. That means there is employment for our people, which is one thing that is unique with the provision of housing. You've seen people selling pure water, you've seen people selling water, you've seen people selling food, you've seen iron rods, you've seen granites, you've seen sand, you've seen cement. All those are economic activities coming out from this one single project, and we have multiple of them all over the country, providing that enabling environment for the Nigerian entrepreneur, the Nigerian developer.
The chairman of Countrywide Homes, Ali Magaji, the project contractor, stated the number of jobs the housing project has created and the number of houses ready.
We have over 1,500 people working every day on site, and by the time you put it cumulative, by the time we finish, this number goes to 10,000 people, because on 757 homes plus the infrastructure, you have an average of 15 people per house getting the job.
The team, which was led by the Minister of State 2, Power Works in Housing, had representatives from the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the military and the Road Safety Corps, as well as the Managing Director of Family Homes Fund and the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Infrastructure. At the core of the Family Homes Fund partnership is a visionary objective to support the delivery of over 500,000 homes, thereby fulfilling an underlying 1.5 million jobs and unscheduled delivery of affordable houses, which is one of the critical areas of the social intervention program activated by the Nigerian government.
Well, my name is Architect Ahmed Dengiwa, Federal Mortgage Bank MD, and I want all Nigerians to be watching this program.
You're watching Housing Development. It is countdown to election time in Nigeria, and we already have an array of presidential aspirants who come in different political parties. Some presidential aspirants have outlined different issues to be tackled in their policy document, but issues of affordable housing for the people they want to serve has failed to work its way into the policy document, either by default or oversight. Now let's feel the pulse of some Nigerians on this.
Housing is the most important thing. Shelter, I think, is either second or even the most important thing in life, because without shelter, definitely people are in trouble. So it is of priority that all the presidential aspirants should give it a priority. In fact, it should come as number one.
You see, my advice to the whoever is going to be the president for this country is that, you see, housing is one of the most important things for humankind, especially in Nigeria. If all these housing estates you see that are being scattered around the federal capital, if they can go in deeper and find out who are the people that built those estates that are just lying fallow there, nobody's living in there, find out who are the owners, probe them. Probably these people must have stolen the government's money to build those houses, or some of them must have used the name of the government to canvass that they are going to provide housing for all. And after doing the project, collecting money from either Federal Mortgage Bank or wherever they must have collected the money to build all those projects, let them review the project, get them back from them, and put it out on a either lottery for the Nigerian.
You know, the common man, that is the one we call the low-income, housing. So for them to go about that is that to grant loans to the working class, then to build, the lower cadre system of houses, so that they will then rent them out. That is the system that we exist now. If they are to rent them out, at affordable prices, lower prices, so that people will then move in, you will see that the living standard of Nigerians will increase. This issue of saying people are sleeping under the bridge, sleeping all these other areas that are not necessary, that develop these ailments or so, will not be there again.
Yes, they're supposed to include it, and my problem is the house rent is too much. A poor man cannot afford it. So, and many people are lying under bridge because house rent too much.
aspirants seeking to occupy the highest office in Nigeria must, as a matter of urgency, come up with, or better still look into, existing policies that have aimed at creating access to affordable housing. Addressing affordable housing challenge should be one of the most important items that any government at the center in 2019 should be tackling, because shelter goes a long way in impacting on the lives and general well-being of Nigerians. Up next is Urban Shelter Limited. Stay tuned.
We all know home ownership in Nigeria can be particularly difficult for a number of reasons, and I won't go into it. But what we've done as a management team and as in part of Urban Shelter is to really sit down and think to ourselves, well, how do we facilitate that problem? Because it is essentially a challenge. And the most things is we realize a number of developers, you have to pay within 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. So we sat down to really think of a model that would suit. And as far as I know, Urban Shelter is the only company today. We introduced the 5-year repayment plan. This is not a mortgage. There are no interest charges. There are no hidden fees. We go through applications and we see clients that are eligible, and really you are entitled to get a 5-year payment plan on most of our projects. Now, we also sat down to say, how else can we diversify this project? And we developed something called a stay and pay concept, where by the time you pay 2nd to 3rd year of your payment, we will actually allow you to move into your property and pay off the balance while you're enjoying that property with your family. Of course, there are terms and conditions, but again, we have found that this has added that flexibility in home ownership.
With Urban Shelter Limited, your dream of owning a house in a serene environment with all the basic amenities for a comfortable living condition will become a reality. Call the numbers on your TV screen for more inquiries.
My name is Dorothy Baziwe, and I encourage you all to keep on watching the Housing Development Program. Thank you.
Be part of the conversation. Send your comments, your opinions, suggestions to housingprogramonit@gmail.com. Now let's take a look at your comments from our mailbox. Thanks for keeping updates. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms for up-to-date housing information. If you missed any part of today's episode and you wish to watch it over again and previous ones, you can do that via the YouTube channel Housing TV Africa. I remain Flora, your housing diva. God bless Nigeria.